Man, you know, I love being in the green room. I love being behind the scenes. I love hearing the true stories and the narratives, not what's been sent to me, not the official bio, not that website stuff. Look, Rome, Robin, R and R. We're going to have just one of those amazing type of shows. Rome, I'll start with you. I know normally it's ladies first, but Robin, I was going to ask Rome to give us the backstory. Like, who is Rome? What journey has he been on? And really, what is he up to today?
Well, so at the core of that story, you know, I'm a spirit whose purpose it is to plant seeds for people to expand how they see themselves and what's possible in the world. I mean, at the core of who I am, that's what I am, that's who I am. That's my mission here on earth. That journey started in Denison, Texas, man. I'm from small town Texas. For those who grew up with me in Denison, Texas, they know me. Rome Madison, Elliot Jerome. Now, if you call me Elliot, now you really know me for a long time. Now, I'm an 80s baby, Robin, so I was back in school when E.T. came out. You know, phone home, Elliot, like, right. So I'm traumatized from people calling me by my first name because of that movie, Elliot. My Uncle Bubba.
Yeah.
My Uncle Bubba, who was like a father figure to me, being raised by a single mom in small town Texas. He's the first person to call me Rome Madison, Rome Stone. And I've just rolled with that my entire career. And played football in college, was all-state in high school, went to the University of Mizzou. Mizzou Tigers, what's up? I'm Mizzou out there. Played all 4 years as a starter at the University of Missouri. Tried to make it into the NFL, couldn't make any teams, body broke down. And it's at that point where, what are you going to do? You know, you put on this pedestal your whole life playing sports and doing things, and all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. It's hard. I call it the Elvis syndrome. You know, you've been a star your whole life and you have your identity in one thing. And then when that's taken away from you, you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know, who you are in some cases. That can happen for celebrities. It can happen for doctors and attorneys. You become a victim of your own success. And that's when I got into sales. And the first 10 years, I knew how to sell. But the first 10 years of my sales career, I ended up broke, busted and disgusted, laid off. And then the next 10 years, I was able to transform myself professionally and personally, understanding what customers actually buy and what I'm actually selling. And the next 10 years, first 10 years, I ended up broke with no opportunities. The next 10 years, became a VP with stock options. So I go around and share that story of capturing what's special about you as an individual and sharing that with the world, your talent, your skills. It's not about superstardom. It's about capturing what's unique about you and sharing that with the world in business, in life, in your family to create a legacy that outlives you. And in the process, you build wealth. So I do that through keynote speaking, through executive coaching, individual coaching. But my focus is working in the medical sales industry, working with individual contributors, teams of individual contributors and executives.
So tonight, or on this episode, and then Robin will come right over to you on this episode. What are you going to be talking about on this episode? For those folks that are just tuning in, you're behind the scenes. What's up, Nicole Brown Hurston? Cheryl A. Pullins is in the house. Good to see you. Daryl Mack, my man. Let me ask Roman. I'm going right over to Robin. So what are you going to be talking about this evening, man? What are you going to be covering today?
Are you talking to me?
To Rome. I'm sorry, to Rome. Rome, just real quick, in about a minute. What are you going to be covering in this particular episode?
So what we're going to be covering is sales magnitude. I guess before we get started, Shay, I want to thank all the names you're shouting out, those people for tuning in, your audience. You do a tremendous job serving the entrepreneurial community, those who are starting to take those first steps into their dream and starting a business. You give them so many tools and resources to be able to build that brand, to build that business. So thank you. Thank all of those who tune in to this. And what we're going to be talking about is sales magnitude, how to stand out from your competitors. You can't avoid competition in business, but you can make them irrelevant if you learn to stand out in a way that projects value and demands attention in your specific industry. And I'm also going to talk about once you establish yourself as a standout brand, service, or entity in whatever it is that you do, then it's a matter of pulling people in and doing business. It's about commerce at the end of the day. We hate to say it's all about the money, but in business, it's all about the money. So once you build that business, how can you close deals? How can you get people to trust you, want to do business with you, to create streams of income with the brand that you build? So we're going to talk about ways that you can do both of those things throughout the show.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Robin, over there from New York. Y'all just heard Rome Madison, but Robin, the one and only, she's sitting there. And tell us a little bit about the backstory, the narrative. Now, we're gonna get going in a little while, but I want to make sure you take time. So I have to read this long bio. We might be here all day long. So take a moment and tell us, who is Robin, and what are you up to today?
So hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Shay, for having me on this broadcast. I'm so excited. Hello to the audience, wherever you may be across the globe. I'm so excited to be here. And as Shay said, yes, my name is Robin Devonish. I am known as the self-publishing maven, the go-to girl for writing, publishing, and profitability. However, that is not the road that I thought I would be on, many years ago. Actually, the short backstory of it is that I didn't grow up a writing scholar. I actually struggled as a child when it came to writing and reading. However, I had a mom who, always, pushed me and said that I can do it, and just instilled in me that I'm going to go to college, that I'm going to do great things. And so the long short of it is that, once I finally got to college, I guess you could say the light bulb went off. And the light bulb went off for me in terms of, what it is to write, what it is to learn about writing. And I actually fell in love with the whole process. And so in 2007, I tried my hand at writing my very first book. It was a good book. However, I made a lot of mistakes when it came to self-publishing. And so basically my frustration turned into a business of me helping others to write and publish and make profits from their book. So that's the short story of it.
Well, I'm super excited because this is one of those episodes. One of the things we talk about, and one of our core philosophies is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So there's some conversations all about getting results in your life. There's other conversations all about business. This is one of those ching moments. Tony Moore, who's out there watching right now, Lee Wilson, who's watching, Ronald Crawford, who's watching, everyone's watching. Look right below the video and just write the words ching, because when we get going in just a moment, we get started, you got not one, but two of the best, the brightest, and most intelligent folks that I could find to bring you the resources that you need right now to get a little ching in your pocket. You're going to serve, but you're going to get a little ching in your pocket. You're going to make $1, but you will make a difference at the same time. We'll be back in just a moment because we got to get going. I'm getting the signal. Are y'all ready to kick it off? They're like, ready. Yeah. All right. We'll be back in 5. This is my favorite part. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll get started in just a moment. I love being behind the scenes. There's nothing like it. Just so much fun. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary. Resources equal revenue. In order for you to execute that vision that you have for yourself, the clothes you want to wear, the home you want to live in, the food you want to eat takes resources. That means revenue. Many of you have a vision for your loved ones. We were talking about that prior to the show. The schools you want to send your kids to, the vacations you want to go on, eating dinner with the white tablecloth stuff. I mean, just so cool. And then others of you, it takes resources to execute that big vision that you have right now for the people you were called to serve. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is for you, I promise to you that you will walk away with one idea. And how many ideas do you need to change your life anyway? One. You'll walk away with one good idea that you can use immediately in your business or in your life in order to change it. So we're going to jump right into it. We've got Robin Devonish on one side. What's up, Robin? Wave. They can guess who you are because it's not me.
Hey.
And then we have the one and only Rome Madison all the way, I think keep saying Dallas, Texas. Is that right? Or Houston? All right. Well, you're currently on mute, so they can't hear you now. Go ahead.
Hi, y'all. Hello, world. Dallas, Texas is in the house. Hello, Europe. Hello, 7 continents, 2 hemispheres, 4 hemispheres, wherever you are. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Shay, man, thank you for having us on the show to provide value for your audience and for those entrepreneurs who are looking to build.
Fantastic. I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much. And Tony Moore, I love Tony Moore. She's like the baddest attorney in the world. She says, Robin. I mean, she didn't say Shay. She said, hey. We could have said that. Kathy Anderson says hello to you. B. Jacqueline, always in the house. Jetter. I got it right, darling. I got it right. We're working on it. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all. Right now, just hit the share button. And you have permission from Robin and from Rome to hit the watch party if you want right now, because he's going to talk about in just a moment what in the LL Cool J is sales magnitude, because he hasn't even defined the word magnitude for us. And he's going to get right into how to stand out from your competition. Let me jump right to it. Rome, you talk about stand out from your competition. Why don't people focus on that today? And tell us the definition of magnitude. What is your view of the world?
So sales magnitude, in a nutshell, is simply how you connect with people and how people connect with you. Your ability to be memorable in their minds, your ability to stand out, as we said, in a way that projects value and commands attention from people. You know, Shay, I'm the president of the National Sales Network. The National Sales Network in North Texas, here in Dallas-Fort Worth. It is the largest professional association in the country that promotes diversity in the sales and marketing field. For years, I've spent my career as a sales leader, sales executive, and now I train sales teams and executives to really use and hone in on the resources that they already have to create more of what they want, whether that's more revenue, more market share, more value for customers. And the reason why people don't stand out, the reason why people don't hone in on what sales magnitude is, or understanding what their sales magnitude or level of magnitude is, the effect that they have on the people they come in contact with, is for one word and one word only. And this one word is the biggest danger that every single one of you face in 2020. That one thing that's going to hold you back from things that are sitting on the top shelf, those things that you're reaching for that you've never yet been able to reach. Even if you've been successful, even if you've accomplished goals, the vision just increases. But the one thing, Shay, that people don't focus on developing their sales magnitude or taking an interest in understanding the influence that they have is one word, and that word is complacency.
Complacency. Now, you talk about magnitude. You've defined that. Give us one idea. Maybe you give us 2 ideas. You might have a bonus, but give us one idea. How can folks stand out from the competition? And as Robin's listening in a few minutes later on, we'll ask her why it's important to stand out from the competition. She'll be talking about shortly, why every entrepreneur needs to write their own book. And certainly, I'm sure there's a dozen books out there. So this is a very important conversation for all of us. So Rome, give us an idea. How does an entrepreneur stand out from the competition, my man? Is that even, first of all, is that even possible these days? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but is it possible to do that? I mean, yeah. How can we do it, number one? And why can't I just be better than the other person? Why I got to stand out? Can't what I do better than someone else stand out from them enough? Seriously.
It can, but it's kind of like, hamburgers. Some people like hamburgers, some people like hot dogs. We'll just take hamburgers for a situation, right? A hamburger is a hamburger, some people will say. Now you got these companies trying to sell the impossible burger where it's a vegan burger or something. But here's the thing that always, gets me about differentiation. A hamburger is a hamburger for some people, but every corner you drive down, every street you drive down, if you drive a mile down some busy street in some town, USA, you're likely to pass 4 or 5 hamburger joints or restaurants that sell hamburgers. It ain't none of them going out of business. Some of them hamburgers good, some of them hamburgers are average. But the point is, in the quote that I would say that sums this up is from Dolph DeRoos, an international expert on real estate investing and wealth. He says the most successful people and the most successful business don't do one thing 100% differently than you do. I got Siri going off on my watch. The most successful people and the most successful companies don't do one thing 100% differently than you do. They do 100 things 1% differently than you do. The reason why people become complacent, even when they have success, is because they don't have enough self-awareness about them and their business to evolve, to find an edge every single year. And if we could hone in on this 1% concept, if you don't get anything else that we talk about here tonight, hone in on this 1% concept. And the question is, how can you improve in your business by 1% a year? How much different can you be in even one area of your business? Maybe it's the look and feel of your brand. Maybe it's the way that you deliver your content. Maybe it's your positioning in the marketplace with strategic relationships. Maybe it's the platform, a new platform that you're going to get on to try to advertise or market your brand and get more recognition and reach more customers. But the question is, how can you improve by 1% a day? How many different areas of your business can you look at to slightly differentiate yourself from your competitors by 1% a day? And if you took that as a philosophy that you chose to drill down in every single day, whether it's creating a niche for yourself, whether it is creating your voice as a key opinion leader, maybe it's, culling content and putting it out there. There's different ways that you can differentiate yourself if you are aware of where you are now and how you position yourself with your competitors or those you compete against, those, even my peers, they're speakers. There's even different things that we do. We might all talk about sales, but there's got to be something different about me and unique and special, my unique value proposition that I offer versus everyone else.
Got it. And Rob, in a minute, I'm gonna come to you in a second just to have you give your view of the world on why it's important to stand out from the competition. Rome, before she does that, can you give us one more idea? You said one idea, and everyone is listening right now, look right below the video and just write this in your notes. Do something 1% better than your competition in multiple areas. That's one idea. Now, I'm sure Rome brought another idea because this is the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. He came to give. So Rome, what is another way that we can stand out from our competition? And then when you finish that, I'm going to ask Robin why it's important to stand out from your competition as an author. And I know she's talking about that a little later on, why every entrepreneur should write their book. But talk about that, Rome. What's another way you can stand out from the competition?
Well, another way you can stand out from your competition is really becoming an expert in whatever it is that you deliver, right? So as salespeople, I deal with sales professionals in any industry, but my native industry where I've made a niche for myself is the medical sales industry. They say the riches are in the niches, right? The sage on stage, the generalist, the speaker who comes and gives, live your dream Les Brown did Live Your Dreams. In every industry, he gave Live Your Dreams for 40 years. They're not paying people to go on stage and talk about live your dreams. You have to be something specific if they want to come in and bring value to an organization. So when you research your industry and become a key opinion leader in your industry, you become one of the top 10% knowledge level of your industry over time. So there's people out there, there are resources to get industry newsletters, there are specific magazines or journals that are unique to your industry. If you could become knowledgeable, subject matter expert about something, if it's plumbing, maybe it's replacing toilets. If it is sports, maybe it's cross training or MMA. But if you are able to become recognized as a go-to resource where people get their knowledge and information, you stand out from everybody else because they depend on you to help learn. They depend on you to help grow their business in a way that you're bringing value to them that no one else does, because you bring them the knowledge and the skills they need in order to expand their business, drive more revenue, and expand their footprint in the marketplace by becoming an expert in the resource of someone's business.
Powerful, so very powerful. Robin, as you're listening right now, what's kind of going through your mind on why it's important for authors to stand out? All right, because you're going to talk about later entrepreneurs. Every entrepreneur should write a book. Why is it important, and what are you hearing as he's speaking over there?
Well, one of the things that I know is very important in standing out is you have to be willing to color outside the lines and step out of the box. You know, I think that some, you know, conventional methods work. However, stepping outside of the box works best. And so I think that's what's most important. If you, you know, really want to, move that 1%, you know, like the gentleman just said, you want to make sure that you're coloring outside of the lines and you're thinking outside of the box of how I can grow what I have, not only far, but wide, not only wide, but deep. And if you can do it that way, then you'll, you know, garner the success that you're looking for.
That is so powerful. Rome, can you tell us a time where you had to step out the box? You had to go outside the lines to separate yourself from the competition. Just maybe a quick story that maybe pops top of mind to you. So, you know, as folks are listening, they're like, whoa, okay, that's different. It could have been in business. It could have been as a, I know you played football for so many years. It could have been in the sports arena. But what's an example that comes top of mind to you, and how this relates to you, the person listening at home? Because I want you to be thinking, when's the last time I stepped out the box? I love that. Colored outside the line so I could be 1% different. And then how can I do it now? Rome, what's one example?
Well, I'll tell you another way. We talked about becoming a content expert, an expert voice in your field. But another way is strategic relationships. So when we talk about stepping outside of the box, now this may be shocking to your audience, so I'm going to get a little vulnerable here, Shay. But I'm really an introvert.
Yeah,
I'm fine with going on stage and talking to 500 people, no problem, because I'm in control, kind of there, right? But when it comes to like social situations, I'm kind of an introvert. When it comes to like big rooms and working in a room, I can do it, but it takes a lot of energy for you boys sometimes. I love to serve, but you know, I love to serve on like a one-on-one type of level, go into groups. Those are things that I don't post on social media sometimes. But strategic relationships are such that you have to get with someone who's a leader in their particular field. Maybe they don't know you. Maybe they speak about something different than you do. Maybe it's your competition. But for me, with strategic relationships, I'll give you a very recent example. So I worked with a company out of Boston that's building a technology for healthcare in the precision medicine space, which is one of my areas of expertise for building the industry. This is a technology that facilitates cancer research and development, searching the genome. So one of the folks that I have in my network that I've worked with in the past was with a very large community cancer network. And for this technology, there's different ways you can go about it. You can hire a bunch of people and you can take that to the market and you become a part of the commoditization conversation. Or you can go with the route of developing a strategic relationship with someone that you know. And through that, through your relationship, you get it into a use case much faster. So for me, I use strategic relationships by stepping out of the box and building relationships with people that I've known throughout my career who have a large influence to bring my network and my clients that sort of access. That's a new skill for me. I've always worked with people, but bringing strategic relationships to make big deals come together is now what I do for my clients. And this was a stretch for me to be able to do that. Now, we're all entrepreneurs. We all work with people. You would think that, someone who's a successful entrepreneur has to love people. Well, I'll tell you, that's a part of my background where I struggle sometimes with, large crowds of people and interaction like that. So for me, it's a stretch to invest in certain relationships in order to bring lots of value to other people.
Man, very, very powerful. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to one and only Rome Madison right now. You have none other than Robin Devonish. She's over there with a big smile on her face about to kick it off. We come back in less than 2 minutes. I'm going to give the Happy Entrepreneur thought of the day in just a moment. Robin is going to break it down, and she's going to answer that one question that all of you got had in your mind, which is, why should every entrepreneur write a book? Okay. Maybe that's new for you. And you're like, oh, okay, Shay. And then maybe you're on the other side. You're thinking, nah, I know everybody should write a book. Well, she's going to talk about what type of books should the entrepreneur write. It's a two-part question. You don't want to miss it from the self-publishing maven herself. You don't want to miss that. And don't worry, I'm going to come back to Rome later. I'm going to ask Rome to give us some ways that we can close those deals. He's not, no. He's got to answer the question. I agree with you. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to give me a second. We're going to go ahead and go over to the thought of the day, something new, something we've been doing this week, and something I'm having a lot of fun doing. We'll be back in just a moment. Listen and change for the better. That's the thought of the day. We'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm in the car, obviously, heading over to the doctor's, and I'm going for my regular routine with my dermatologist. Now, here's really the message, because the message isn't about me going to a regular doctor's appointment. The message is listen and change for the better. Hear me again. Listen and change for the better. So, for example, I've been going to the doctor now for almost maybe 2 or 3 years, and we decided to do something different for my skin, because I want to look good for you guys on there, right? And he gave me a prescription. The last time I was there, he gave me a prescription. I'm supposed to take every night and put it underneath my eyes. Because my family, we have a history underneath of having a dark spot underneath our eyes. And he gave it to me, I don't know, a year ago, and said it's going to take 6 months. And guess what happened? I didn't actually do it. So I listened, but I didn't change for the better because I took no action. And then I was with him just 3 months ago. He said, Shay, I want you to come back in 3 months. You must use the medicine. If you expect the change underneath your eyes, you must use the medicine. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't use the medicine. I already know what it's going to say when I get there. So here's why I tell it to you, and here's what it means to you. Change and take action for the better. You've got to listen to what they have to say. So I got to listen, and I got to change for the better, which means I literally have to go out there and I've got to take action. Isn't that how life is? Isn't that how it is for you in your business as well? Or you as a family? You want to lose weight, but if you keep eating the right food and you don't change for the better, nothing happens. Someone says spend less than you make. You don't listen, so you spend more than you make. Or you need to really change the systems in your business and you do nothing. So here's my point. Listen and change for the better. I'm going to listen this time. I'm going to listen. The next time we tune in, because I already know it's going to tell me to come back. I'm going to say, guess what I did? I put the cream underneath my eyes every night for 3 straight months. Anyway, with that being said, I just want you to know that you're amazing. I love sharing these thoughts of the day because it's what's on my heart, it's what's in my mind, and I wanted to bless you as well. So with that being said, I want you to know that you're amazing. You're incredible. You've got so much greatness inside you. And I know with 100% certainty, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. That is to empower, that is to inspire, and that's to provide you, the entrepreneur, you, the single mom, you, the single dad, you, the married woman, you, the married person, the husband, the wife, the brother, the uncle. It doesn't matter. You, the person gets up every single day with a big heart to make a difference in the world. And it takes resources. That means it takes revenue to purchase the resources. So today we bought the best resources that we could find on the planet to help you in 2 very specific areas. And the next voice we're going to hear is none other than Rome Devonish. Now, Rome, someone I've known for a number of years. She's up in New York, New York. So nice, they named it twice. And it's a great place to go. It really is. It really is. But I'm curious. I know you're going to answer the question, why should every entrepreneur write a book? But I want to ask the opposite side. Like, why don't authors write? I mean, why don't entrepreneurs write books? What's your belief? Why don't we do it today?
Well, I mean, I can speak from experience of talking to entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to get specific, the number one thing I hear is, I don't think I can do it. You know, I don't have the writing ability. I also hear I don't have enough time. And then I also hear I don't see the point.
I'm checking all those boxes, by the way, other than I don't see the point. I'm busy. I don't have the time. When am I going to do this?
Yes.
Yes. So why don't you talk about why should entrepreneurs, every entrepreneur, you didn't say some entrepreneurs, you ain't say full-time entrepreneurs, you ain't say part. He says why every entrepreneur should write a book. What were you thinking? Talk to us. Why should we?
Well, the first reason why you should write a book is for the purpose of access. If you want access to certain arenas, you need a book to do that, right? Certain arenas don't want to talk to you unless you have, you know, what is your expertise? What do you have to offer? Yes, there's lip service. You may have a business and all of that, but you know, the statement rings true that the book now is the business card, right? You know, before you give someone your business card, but now it is actually the book. And so you want to make sure that you have access. The second reason why you need to write a book is for reach purposes, right? Now, right now we are on this show, and this show reaches to across the globe. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't it be great if you have a book that's selling online and you're on a show like this and someone from, let's just say, New Zealand can purchase your book? So that's the second reason why you should write a book, is for the purpose of reach. The third reason is for expert credibility, right? And I remember, you know, when I was in college, I had a professor by the name of Dr. Benjamin Patterson. I will never forget him. And one of the things that he would say is, you know, your expertise is not credible unless it's inside of a book. That's what he would say. He would always tell us that, especially when it came time for papers and we decided that we wanted to cite something. No, you need to find somebody who said that, right? To lend to your credibility until you can become credible. And so he would say, you know, you need to, down the line, think about writing a book to make sure that you have that expert credibility. And the last reason why every entrepreneur, and of course there's many reasons, but, you know, for the interest of time, I give 4, right? And so the fourth reason why every entrepreneur should write a book is your genius needs to be packaged. That's it. Your genius needs to be packaged so that people can, you know, they can purchase it, they can read it, they could go through it, they could learn more about you, who you are as a person, as an entrepreneur. So you need to package your genius, and what better way to do that than inside of a book?
Man, you are spot on. And I don't be the bad guy, but I'm thinking to myself, it's just me. I might be the only one thinking this. It's like, gosh, there's so many things I could write on, right? It's like, do I write on my life? Do I write on my failures? Do I write on, you know, my trainings? I mean, it's like, it's like, okay, can you break it down? What types? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what types of books should we write as entrepreneurs? For everyone that's out there listening right now, if you have a book, you can look below the video and put the name of your book. You can spotlight your book. If you don't have one, you better contact Robin right away. And if you got one, you need another one, you better contact Robin right away, right? Because she might say you need more than one book. And here's how you can participate. You can look below the video. If you've written a book, just put the name of my book is blank. And we can share in a happy entrepreneur tribe. So when someone says what books you should be reading, they don't have to just run to Audible and see what's on the list. They can go get your book. Robin, what type of books should we write as entrepreneurs? I'm curious.
Well, I would say the easiest book and the quickest book to write is a tips book. Mm. Some tips that as an entrepreneur that you can package and put out there. It could be content that you used in the past that you're not using anymore. Now you decide that you want to, repurpose it into a book. So tips books are great. Then of course the workbooks, depending on, what arena you're in, if you're coaching or you're in some type of educational arena, workbooks are always good. Maybe you may write your personal story, depending on, what the story is about, especially if you're moving into the arena of life coaching or, helping people to better themselves. Of course, there's self-help books. There's, so many different books that you can write. But for entrepreneurs, if you want to just keep it simple for the first time, I would say write a tips book.
I like the idea. And you said write a tips book. And again, I'm thinking I'm very busy. It's just me. It's just you and I. We're having a private conversation. These other guys, they're just eavesdropping on our conversation right now. They're eavesdropping. And I'm thinking, I don't have a lot of time. I really don't. And so how long should these books be? Because you said a tips book, and then you said maybe you should write a book on your story if that's appropriate, or write a book on your expertise. And so I know this is a loaded question, so maybe you got to frame the conversation a little bit for folks. But how long should these books be, or do they have to be so long?
No, they don't. Actually, I can give a perfect example.
Please do.
I have a client by the name of Shantana May. And so Shantana, she wrote a book, is 28 ways to advocate for your health. And so it's a small book. I mean, it's really small. It's a 4.3 by 7 book. And it's basically giving you 28 tips on how to advocate for your health. And so she takes this book and she goes into medical facilities and sell them for bulk to these doctors so they can help their patients to learn how to advocate for their health. So that's the smallest book. And the book is only about 30 pages.
And does that change the price? Is the value still the same?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Is the value still the same? I'm assuming it is. For a book, doesn't matter how long it is because it's still packed with value.
The value is still the same. Great information. She teaches people how to advocate for their health. And she learned that way. She learned that from what she's gone through in terms of advocating for her own health. And so she took that and packaged it, and so now she's selling the book in bulk in various doctors' office in the state that she lives in. So the book doesn't have to be super large. Just to start out, if you want to do something small, listen, there's so many books out there that they're super small, but they're impactful. They have great information, great content. Start there. But if you want to write the longer book, you can do that as well. I think that back in the day, when traditional publishing was in play, everything had to be super long. Everything, had to have, 300 and 400 pages. But self-publishing has wiped all of that out. So you have the opportunity to show up how you want to show up in your genius as an author, whether the book is, small, medium size, or large.
Wow, I love the energy. I can hear the passion just pouring through these lines. I'm gonna ask Rome in just a moment. When he hears write a book, how does that help separate from the competition to kind of tie that together? But before we do that in a minute or two, we got Michael Taylor out there. He says he's written 8 books. He's out there right now. You didn't put the name of your book, so we can't highlight your book, but put the name. If you're listening right now, You can put the name of your book in the comment section. If you listen to the podcast, I know you can't do it. If you're listening to Apple TV or Roku or Amazon Fire, I get it. But if you happen to be able to watch live for whatever reason, you got this private link, put it down so other folks can connect with you. Toni Moore, who's just a bad mamma jammer, the baddest attorney I know on the planet, does patents and so much more. She put the name of her book as Sanctify Your Money.
Yes.
That's interesting. Sanctify Your Money. And she wrote the book to inspire church folks to use the power to prosper with their money. Where I was going with that, the question I was going towards before I mentioned the books they have is, how does someone know? It was, where's this passion coming from? Because the minute you just lit up, like I was like, whoa, she believes this with every fiber in her body. Where does this passion come from that you have to help entrepreneurs get their story told or share their expertise or share their experience? We want to know. You got to tell us.
I mean, well, you know what? I think it comes from, growing up and being told that I can't do something. So now it's my mission to push other people that may have been told the same thing. Mm-hmm. So that's part of where the passion comes from. It also comes from, just doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? Listen, let's just keep it real. Mm-hmm. I did it wrong before I got it right. Mm-hmm. And so I want to make sure that whoever crossed my path, mm-hmm. that they will have the opportunity to do it right because I did it wrong at first. And I'm just committed. I'm committed to, helping people to show up in their genius and just show up great and to, take their book and their life or whatever they want to do to the next level. And I believe really every person has at least one book in them, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. Everyone, if you live long enough, you have at least one book inside of you. I believe everyone does.
And you know what? I believe you. I believe you. Charlene says she has a book called Women of Virtue, Walking in Excellence, an anthology. Michael Taylor came back and says he has the book, The New Face of Entrepreneurship, an entrepreneurship's guide to passion and purpose. As you're listening over there, Rome, what's kind of going through your mind in about a minute or so that you can use the book to separate you from the competition? It's a really reasonable question. And then I'm going to ask Robin if she'd be so kind to tell us how you began. Because it's like, I've started so many times, y'all, and I never get going. In my head, I have an idea, but I don't know how to start the process, really. So I want to get some coaching here if I can. I want her to share that. But Rome, when you hear every entrepreneur needs to write a book so they can be in their genius, what's going through your mind, my man?
So I'll share the advice that my coach and mentor, my father in the speaking business, Del Toro McNeil, told me nearly 10 years ago when we started working together. When I started to build my career, he said, if you are an expert or a speaker or you have a product or service that solves a problem for people, especially in the area of speaking or delivering content, it is an insult for you to rip open the wounds and reveal the issues, the problems that people face as an expert and talk about it, but not deliver them a prescription for their ills, which is your book.
That's good.
Yeah. So very well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Del Toro is a great guy. So very well said. As I'm thinking over here, Robin, we come back. We're going to let's just do it right now. Y'all just wait. Tell us, how do they start? I mean, we got to know. I'm looking at Shamika. She's out there and she says she feels your passion. She says, I need you. Don't worry. I'm going to ask them how can they connect with you in just a moment. We're going to do that in just a moment so they can say exactly how they can connect with you. And so you do need Robin. If you need to write a book and you got a book in you, Robin's the gal. I'll say it like that. Can I say gal? Is that okay? Robin's the woman to go to right now. So Robin, I know you get paid to do this. I get it. I know you do workshops around this. I get it. And I appreciate you just sharing with the Happy Entrepreneurs community exactly how they can get started. And for a number of folks, that's very, very important. So go ahead and share that with us if you would. What's the process for getting started?
Okay. what you need to do is create a quick outline. And so when someone talks to me on the phone as a consultation and they say, well, I don't know how to get started. So what I do is I tell them, number your paper from 1 to 10 real quick, right? Number your paper from 1 to 10, and then list 10 things or 10 topics that you want to share in the book that you want to write, at least 10, right? Write 10, don't overthink it, and don't duplicate, right? Take the 10. Make sure you have enough space on your paper because you're going to write some additional information. So once you have the 10 topics, then you're going to go back and you're going to write under each topic 3 lines or 3 particular types of information that you want to share in that particular chapter. So for instance, if, I'm writing, like, for instance, I talked about my client, Shantana. So Shantana, in part of her book, she talks about doctor visits. So under doctor visits, she may talk about appointments, and she may talk about keeping track, and she may talk about, the types of types of doctors that you're seeing. She has a whole, smorgasbord of information in that one chapter. So just to backtrack right quick, number your paper to 10, then list the 10. And then under those 10, list 3 things that you want to share within that chapter. And then at that point, you'll have a soft outline, and then you can move forward into writing your book. And another tip I always give as well is do not type your book, handwrite your book. Now, I understand that a lot of people, let me tell you why I know a lot of people, they like electronics and all of that, but there's a certain connection when you use your hand. There's a certain connection, there's a certain flow that you have when you use your hand. And so I tell people, write with your hand because you can carry the book anywhere. If you need to sit in the office somewhere, you're waiting, you're commuting, whatever you may be doing, you're at your kid's soccer game and you're just sitting on the sidelines or they're at practice and you're waiting for them to finish. That can be the time that you're writing and that you're creating. And so that's why I say to write with your hand. I believe that you can get much more done. It's more of an intimate flow, and you'll finish in no time. And so that's the quick way of getting started.
Woo! I tell you what, that's $1 million idea all by itself. Just make that list flow. I love it. I love your energy. I love your thought process. Thank you for sharing. When we come back, don't worry, we're going to break it down. We come back, I'm going to ask them the $1 million question. First, I'm going to ask them how you guys can all contact with them. Like, what's the best way to contact them? We'll be back in just a moment. We'll go over to Dorsey, by the way. Dorsey is down in Houston, Texas. And she says, one thing you can do to shift the needle. Dorsey Hill. Take it away. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Dorsey.
Hey there. I'm so excited to be back in the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, sharing my thought of the week. Why I'm excited to do this? Because it's my January 1st. It's my January 1st. I am, in case you don't know, Dorsey Hill, the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Network and Academy, and I'm so glad to be back with you amazing entrepreneurs, sharing my thought of the week, which happens to be one thought, one thing you can do in 1 minute for 1 week to shift the needle in your life and your business. Are you guys ready? Okay, it's breathing. Oh my gosh, it's so simple, yet it's something we don't do regularly. So I want you to do it with me here. I want you to take a breath for 4, hold it for 4, and then exhale for 4. So take a breath and hold. Exhale. Did you even see my shoulders come down just a little bit? We get so frustrated, when we're working on new launches or new employees, new whatever it is, that we forget, we get all anxious and all frustrated and overwhelmed, and we forget to breathe. So try this for 1 minute. every day for 1 week and see if you don't start to notice a decrease in your level of stress. Your shoulders aren't hugging your ears and you're just feeling overall a little bit better, and that you're finding the problems the solutions to the problems you have are coming to you much quicker and faster. Or if all else fails, you can try bubble wrap, because who doesn't feel better with bubble wrap, right? It's easy peasy, squeezy squeezy. I mean, it's so much fun. All right, so remember to breathe, have your bubble wrap handy, and remember, as always, my wish for each and every one of you is that you're happy, you're healthy, and having a ton of fun in this life and business that you're living and creating. My biggest Texas love and hugs to each and every one of you. Bye for now. Mwah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And resources takes revenue. It takes revenue to purchase a coach. It takes revenue to eat. It takes revenue to pay your healthcare insurance. It takes revenue to do the things you want to do. And why not have all the resources you need? And that's why we're here right now. The question I want to do is I want to go into a segment for all you who are joining called Today is Our January 1st. And, you know, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, for those folks that are hearing for the very first time, January 1st represents those decisions you make throughout the day. We have January 1st moments all throughout the day where you have to make a decision. You can make that decision, and that one decision could change the trajectory of your life. So you either decide to go to the gym or you sit on the couch. January 1st moment. You decide you're going to stick to that diet. You know, you're going to have, I don't know, kale and broccoli and celery. That might even sound good to you right now. Or you're going to eat hamburgers and French fries. So my question first to Robin and then to Rome, but I'll go to Robin first. My question to Robin is, when you hear the words, today is my January 1st, a rebirth, a start over, a do-over, a change, whatever it means to you, what does that mean to you? That's number one. And then part two, what was your January 1st moment where you decided, you know what? Not only am I going to be an entrepreneur, but I'm going to help entrepreneurs write their book. What was your January 1st moment?
Okay, so when I think of January 1st, I think of that thing, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be related to books, but that thing that I gave up on, that I need to pick back up. I think oftentimes we say, well, you know, we're too old to do something, or, you know, that time has passed, or, you know, it's too late. And I think January 1st is the best opportunity for you to pick that thing up one more time, to give it one more go, because that's what you really want to do. That's where your passion is. That's the thing that keeps you up at night. That's the thing that you're thinking about every 5 seconds. It's time to pick it back up. And so that's what I think of when I, you know, think of the January 1st, what you said. So for me, what was my January 1st? I think my January 1st happened after I was sick. I don't want to talk about health all the time, but a lot of people do know that I am a breast cancer survivor. And so once, you know, I passed through that whole situation and, you know, treatments and all of that was over, at that moment, that's when my January 1st started, because I had begun my business, but I had to put it on the back burner for a little while so I could take care of my health. And so once all of that was done with, my January 1st started at that moment. And at that moment, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to help people to, you know, write their stories and just package their genius. That's what I wanted to do when my January 1st came back around.
So powerfully said. Thanks a lot. And Rome, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, and all of you watching right now, You can look right below the video and you can write this affirmation. One of our core values at the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe is today is my January 1st. I'm going to get it right. Today is my January 1st. I get a do-over right in this very moment. Write those words right now. And when someone writes the words, today is my January 1st right below, and they use the hashtag, it's my time, because right now for many of you, it's your time. This is your year. This is your moment. This is what you've been working for. When someone writes, today is my January 1st. What's up, Tanya Pickett? Good to see you. D. Bolden, always a pleasure. When you see that, look and hit the heart button. Hit the like button. Encourage them to go ahead and take that first step. Rome, you hear the words, today is my January 1st. What goes through your mind? And then the second part of the question, what was your January 1st moment? You said, you know what? Helping entrepreneurs achieve sales is what I'm born and what I'm going to do. What was your January 1st moment?
So my January 1st moment, first of all, the thing that goes through my mind is January 1st comes every year. So it's not like you have one pivotal moment and that's it. If you're blessed to live and endure the trials of life that you go through, the stretches and periods and seasons of life that we have to go through to accomplish success, guess what? January 1st comes around again next year. And so for me, my recent January 1st was last summer at one of really the pinnacle moments of my career. I was at the University of Pennsylvania, Penn, at their Center for Advanced Medicine, Personalized Medicine, at the Precision Medicine Leaders Summit. And I was speaking there, and I learned that I had a genetic condition that I was born with called a PFO. A PFO is a very quick anatomy for anybody out there, is a condition where when your heart grows, there's a small centimeter hole between the left and the right side. And when you get in the age range that I'm in, it carries with it a stroke risk. So after that long day of speaking and being at one of the most amazing conferences that I've ever been to on the topic of precision medicine, I have what's called a TI, a transient ischemic attack, which is a baby stroke. I was fine, and I kind of felt, well, I'm in a room full of doctors. I didn't really notice just the sensation go down the left side of my face. So I didn't really pay much attention. Long story short, in talking to my wife later on that night, just a matter of fact, telling her what happened, she told me to go to the hospital. I said, no problem, I'll get it checked out, go to the emergency room. I'll be out in a couple of hours, just for precaution. And I was there for 2.5 days. So it's one thing to endure, Robin. My heart goes out to you because I work in the field of cancer research and development. So over the last 20 years, I've worked with cancer patients every single day, worked with companies who serve cancer patients every single day. And here I am, an otherwise healthy guy, no risk profile for a stroke, and I'm laying in the University of Pennsylvania for 2 days. And my January 1st moment came by really understanding the perspective that I carry through life today. And that is, a lot of you guys out there feel like you have to grind and, stay up late and do those things. And I'm not knocking it. But my perspective now is that life is not a grind. If your business, if your purpose in life is what you are tasked to do, if that's what you are purposed to do, and you know that, I just encourage you to just plant the seeds that you can today. Don't worry about the seeds that you don't plant. Don't worry about the seeds that don't grow. Just plant your seeds today, every single day, and be consistent with building a brand that people remember, that strikes value in the minds of the people that it comes across. And it doesn't have to be a grind. When you're working in your purpose, like the things in nature, as the Creator has placed you here to do, grass doesn't struggle to grow. Water doesn't struggle to flow. I just bought a puppy, until you train it, the puppy's going to do what a puppy's going to do, right? So it's about the process. If I leave a word with you about my January 1st moment, I understand it's about the process that I go throughout my day, the process in which I start things at the beginning of the day and give myself grace for, if I do one thing that day, give myself grace to know that is a good, well-planted seed in well-planted soil. And I'm not going to worry about all the things that I did not do, could not do, should have done. I'm going to give myself grace and bless that effort. So that's my January 1st moment. is my change in perspective by which I attack things in life every single day with an attitude of gratitude and really giving the effort into what it is I have to do that day and really not worry about all the things that you didn't get through. Just praise God for the success and the significance that you have each day and allow that to be your legacy, the people you come in contact with.
So well, so thank you for sharing. Thank you for being authentic. Very powerful. The question that's on my mind, and folks that are writing today is my January 1st, like Tanya Y. Pickett, and those folks out there that are saying, yeah, this is my time. This is my moment. One of my favorite sayings is the best intentions don't equal the best results. And so some folks may fall off the bandwagon. January 17th was National Ditch Your Resolutions Day. You can go Google that, by the way. And so there's a number of folks who made these resolutions back on December 31st after a couple drinks on the back of a napkin. By the way, they can't remember. You ask them today, what were they? They can't even tell you. So my question to you is, I'll first go to Rome, give us an answer, and then I'll come right over to Robin, is what do you tell yourself in order to be consistent, to stay the course? It's easy to make the decision, but it's easy not to stay the course. What's your suggestion, Rome? Talk to us.
Well, I'll take it like this, because recently in the news, one of several people's great hero, Kobe Bryant, even if you weren't a basketball fan, you know who Kobe Bryant was. In a nutshell, he showed us what greatness is. And greatness is not the fact that he had 5 championship rings. Greatness is not the fact that he had scoring titles. What he showed us about what greatness is in the process of achieving greatness is that it is a process. It's a process. See, Kobe Bryant didn't come into the NBA like LeBron James. He was talented, but many people make the mistake of thinking talent will make you and get you anything you want in life. Now, true enough, talent will make you a great living. But there's a big difference between using your talent and developing skill. So when you become consistent, you will succeed at what you consistently apply yourself to do. And along the way, you'll develop a high level of skill. No matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, it goes back to that conversation about being 1% different. It's called exponentiation. If you were to improve by 1% in a certain area every single day moving forward, in a year's time, the percentage of increase that you have is well over 3,000. If you stay focused on planting those seeds every day, about refining your skill, applying yourself in a certain area, you will see remarkable success. And I guess the challenge is, Shay, is that people tend to be all over the place and they get complacent, as we talked about earlier. But consistency is the key. Having a plan and constantly planting the seeds where you can, when you can, every single day in order to move the vision or the business or the idea forward. And that's where you're going to get great impact and great results in your business.
Thank you so much. Robin, when you hear the word today is my January 1st, what do you tell yourself in order to be consistent, and what message do you have to the person that says, I'm always telling myself I'm going to do something, I just don't do it? So what's your secret on being consistent, and what do you tell your clients to do in order for them to actually #stay the course?
Well, first you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can, that you will. Also, you have to give yourself deadlines in terms of, when you're going to start, when, you want to be finished by that time. Pat your self on the back when you have certain milestones. That also helps you to become consistent. But another thing about consistency as well is you don't want to stay consistent in one place. Your consistency and growth need to go hand in hand. I think that sometimes, we have difficulty with being disciplined because we get very familiar with what we're doing and it becomes boring. But if you always seek to go a little higher in terms of, your level of consistency, or go a little higher in terms of, whatever your area of genius is, then you'll be more disciplined to get all the other things done that are connected to it. So I think that if, you set milestones, you have deadline dates, and you believe in yourself, you have the ability to walk in that consistent space, but also opening yourself to growth and not thinking that you always have to stay in one place. There should always be a level of elevation when you're moving forward, especially when it comes to being disciplined.
So true. I tell you, when we come back, for those folks that are watching, thank you both for sharing. We come back, we're going to a rapid fire segment. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. Rome's going to tell us at least one idea on how to close sales. Don't worry, I have not forgot. I'm going to make sure that Robin also shares how you can connect with her and give us one more bonus idea that we need to get our book done, or how to get started. They've got a bonus. Don't you love it? Say thank you. For everyone that's out there watching right now, you can look below the video and give them a digital applause. We're not done, but give them a digital applause. Now, how do you give a digital applause? What's up, Siobhan? She's in the house. Kimberly Flowers out there in San Antonio, a rock star. Y'all bringing out the rock stars this evening, by the way. Here's how you give a digital applause. You look below the video and put, thank you, Rome Madison. Thank you, Robin Devonish. I keep saying Devonish. Thank you so much. Or you did great. Or we appreciate you. Neither one of them asked me for a cash app before we got started. There was no PayPal that was needed. There was no swipe and succeed. They said, we're here to serve. And boy, did we appreciate it. So we come back. We're going to go rapid fire. And I'm going to ask them, how can we connect with them? Like, tell us exactly how we're going to do it. And we're going to make sure it works when they do it, by the way. Y'all are both rock stars. We're going to go back up to New York. New York. So nice. They named it twice. Don't you love that? And Delano A. Johnson's up there. We're on the East Coast right now. And he says something that's so powerful. I love it. He says, I refuse to live talented and broke. And if you write your book, you won't be broke if you hang out with the one and only Robin, and you won't be broke if you hang out with Rome, because you're going to know how to close that sale. So we'll be back. Delano A. Johnson, take it away. I refuse to live talented and broke. How true is that? Very true.
I live in a city where there are more creative people per square mile than any other place on the planet. Question is, how many of them are successful? How many are just like I was, talented and broke? Being broke is more than just not having money. It's failure to turn opportunities into profitable businesses and relationships that last. My mother always said, people perish for lack of knowledge. A compass takes you in the direction of your destiny, but knowledge of obstacles and distractions will ensure you arrive safely. My mentor once said to me, if I had half your talent, I'd have 4 times my wealth. Since then, I made a promise to God. If He would help me unlock my earning potential, I would pay it forward and help others do the same. That's why I wrote this book, because God made us too talented to live our lives broke. And that includes you.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, we're on a mission to inspire, we're on a mission to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all the resources you need necessary to execute that big vision for the people you were called to serve. And that's what we're talking about. This is the conversation we're having right now. And so many that are out there watching, we appreciate you. All the note takers, we appreciate you. Everyone hit the share button. You get the share button right now. We appreciate you. Shana says, thank you, Robin. Devonish says, thank you, Robin and Rome. They're out there. Patricia says, thank you, Robin and Rome. They're watching right now as we're tuning in. We're going to go rapid fire. I'm going to go first over to, I'll go to Robin first, and I'll go right over after that, right over to the one and only Rome himself. But Robin, this is the segment where I get to ask any questions top of my mind, and you have a minute or less to answer. Now, the audience likes the less part. I mean, you have a minute or less, but if I said, how much time you wanted to take? They're all saying less. No, I'm joking. If you go over a minute, we don't cut you off. It's not that serious. I mean, we like to hang out with you and have a little bit of fun. But the first question that I have that pops top in mind to me is, what's one of the lessons you've learned from your mentor, any of your mentors along your journey of life that you would like to share with us? Just a lesson they taught you that you can give to us listening right now.
Think outside of the box and color outside of the lines.
I love it. Think outside the box, color outside the lines. So well said, by the way. You know, you've written a lot of books. You read a lot of books. And if you had to take a moment and share one idea from one of the books, any books that you've read that you want to share with us, what's an idea from the book that you would like to share with us, the audience? Now, you can't use the good book. The Bible is in a category all by itself, right? It can't even be in the same category. So what's one of the books you recently read that you would like to share with us?
The Big Ask, 21 Keys to Get What You Desire and Deserve by Lucinda Cross, of course. My number one mentor, friend tour, and all of that.
No surprise. We love Lucinda Cross, so we'll give you time to talk about what is the Big Ask and what's the message of it that the audience needs to walk away with.
The message is that you need to understand what it takes to ask for what you want, and you need to go after what you deserve and also what you desire. Oftentimes we sit back and we hesitate and don't ask for certain things. And you know, so we'll take it to the good book for a moment, right? It says, ask and it shall be given unto you, right? So we want to make sure that we're asking not only for what we want, but also, I believe, for what God wants for us. And so he puts us in the area, in the arena of people that can fulfill what we need. And so think of it as if you're going to a networking event or some type of business event. What you have, what you want is in the room. What you're asking for is in the room. You just have to connect with the right person. And so we have to get to a place where we're asking and we're not hesitating, not looking for a handout. You're going to work and do what you need to do to make sure it happens. But sometimes we just need that connection, that person that can help us to get to where we want to be and ultimately what we desire. And we definitely deserve it. We deserve God's best. So.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, with so much energy that's coming through the power of these fiber optic lines right now, and I'm just feeling that confidence. It's coming through these fiber optic lines right now. That big old smile on your face. I guess what's resonating with me right now for someone that was saying, Shay, it's just so natural. My question to you would be, how do you gain confidence in yourself when no one else believes in you? I mean, what's an idea or a secret that you would like to share?
I mean, that's God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if nobody else loves you, God loves you. That's the truth. I've had to learn that. You know, if nobody else loves you, nobody else cares. God loves you, God cares, and he wants the absolute best for you. And so if you can't turn to people, you need to just turn to God and ask him what it is that he desires for you to do. What greatness can you contribute to, you know, this earth as you're on this earth? What is your greatness? What do you have to achieve? What do you have to do? And that will help you to get your confidence. And also, you know, just reading books about confidence, you know, even looking at yourself in the mirror and just telling yourself every day how awesome you are, how, you know, powerful you are, how, you know, you're going to do great things, how, you know, you're going to leave a legacy. And I don't think it's too late. I think that sometimes people think that, you know, when they get a particular age, that is too late. And that's not true. I don't look my age. Trust me, it's not too late.
I mean, I'm currently 21. I understand that. I feel you.
Age, but I am a woman of a particular age, and I know it's not too late for me. So
I love the energy. I love it. I'm loving it over here. I'm soaking it all in. How can people? What's the best way for everyone listening right now to connect with you?
Well, on Facebook and Instagram, I'm Robin Devonish.
Well, let's go with Instagram. Can we pick one? I mean, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. They're going to find you. They can Google you. They're going to find. Maybe they found you before they showed up. Okay, it's not like it's not like you just showed up and they didn't know who you were. They knew that before you got here. So I'm just asking for your
So
preferred.
Instagram, Robin Devonish.
Okay, so let's go take everyone open up a browser right now. Open up a browser. Let's open up a browser and let's go over to Instagram. Let's go over to Instagram. I think you can see it there. And type in Robin Devonish. There it is. It popped up here. This is pretty cool. This is pretty. Look at the hat. Ooh, quick writing tips.
Man, the hat is dope.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now don't y'all be looking at my Instagram page. I'm looking at hers. Okay. Here we go right here. So my question is just real quick, and I know we got to run. We're going to come to Rome in a moment, but quick writing tips. Now I know you weren't prepared to do this, but you can't just let us see this and not give us one idea. And they'll Google it. They'll go download it. Common mistakes. Oh, you got a lot of stuff on here. All right, give us one. What's one? It is quick writing tip. Do you mind sharing that? And everyone go over there right now. Follow Robin right now. Open up Instagram. And if you're like, oh gosh, Shay, this is so cool. Tell you what we'll do for those folks that are out there. You follow Robin, and then you can post your Instagram handle below. And then other people can connect with you. This is the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe. We're loving on each other. Robin wants to connect with you. Rome wants to connect with you. So put your Instagram. Just put Instagram / and your handle. Put that right below the video. I get it. These videos go viral. When I ask you to write a check, that's not what we're doing. We're just saying that you can take some time to connect with other folks. All right, give us one tip, Robin. Let's give us one more tip. I just love these tips.
I often tell people to concentrate on writing 1 hour a day, 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. At least 1 hour a day, 3 times a week.
But what are they writing?
Their book.
Oh, they're writing their book themselves. Oh, okay. So do it 1 hour. Now, why'd you pick 1 hour?
Because you can fit in an hour, right? You know, like I said before, people say they're too busy, but trust me, you have an hour. Mm-hmm. You know, stay off social media scrolling, maybe not look at television, stay off of Netflix. You have an hour. Everybody has an hour. So if you can commit to 1 hour a day, 3 times a week, your book, you can write a book. Absolutely.
And it will be completed. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
You know what?
And I'll give an extra tip.
Good.
Concentrate on completion and not perfection. I say that all the time.
I love it. Focus on completion, not perfection. There's a time for perfection. There's a time for completion. This is so true. Connect with her over at Instagram at Robin Devonish, by the way, and she'll follow you back. She'll check in with you. We come back in just a moment, less than 2 minutes. Rome, we're going to go rapid fire with Rome. Let's hear what's on Rome's mind. And then I'm going to ask them to give you, after Rome, their final thoughts. You don't want to miss it. I don't know what they're going to say, but it's going to help empower you, inspire you, encourage you, or just whatever they feel is happening in the world. I can't wait. We're going to take a trip down over to Dr. Kenneth Thigpen. And she's down in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're back on the East Coast over here. And she talks about direction determines destination. So they're giving you the direction, and it can determine your destination. We'll be back in just a moment, less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen.
Hello, it's your girl, Dr. Kenneth Thigpen, also known as Dr. K, founder of Rise Women's Network. And Rise Women's Network is pleased to present to you, #Next Sister Up. I'm with you in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and today is my January 1st. Here's your thought of the week. Direction determines destination. And when I think about direction determining destination, I think about being a Girl Scout when I was a young kid. And we would have these sashes and we would have the opportunity to earn badges. And one of the badges that I had a chance to earn was the Wilderness Badge, where our troop leaders took us to the wilderness to go camping. They gave us a destination in which we had to get to, and they gave us a compass to help direct us to that destination. Now, from that, there's 2 big lessons that I learned. The first one is it's important to have the right resources. And so while we were camping, we had a compass. Now, I'm sure most of us are not using compasses, but we are using maybe a GPS. And there's other resources that we need in business and in life. And so it's important that we first evaluate if we have the right tools and resources. The second thing is that one of the resources we had were our troop leaders. And so those troop leaders, they knew where we were going. They had the knowledge, the skills, and the expertise. Same thing in business and life. It's important that we surround ourselves by individuals who have the knowledge, the skills, and expertise. Maybe it's a coach or a mentor that can help provide direction by offering a blueprint. And the second big thing I learned was it's okay to change direction. And so although the destination remains the same, it's okay if we change how we get there. And so remember, direction is a vision offered to explain why, where directions are instructions given to explain how. I'm your girl, Dr. K. Make it a great day.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. We're coming down the home stretch, but I want to do a rapid fire with the one and only himself, Rome Madison. Great guy. A husband out there hanging out with us. One of my good frat brothers, by the way. There's only one frat. There's only one frat. There's only Kappa Alpha Psi. There is not another fraternity out there. But I had to say that. You know, at some point I had to get that in. Phi Nuke to my good brother. So as they're listening to you right now, bro, they might be wondering, what are your success habits? What is your success routine? So if you walk us through your morning routine, if that's one of your success habits, what does it look like?
Wow. So I'll give you one. And when we talk about success habits, your success really does come down to your habits and your skills. Your habits build the skills that bring the success that you want in your life and business. But, you know, as I mentioned on my January 1st moment, is really changing my perspective and how I get into my day. So Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War, makes this very powerful statement about getting ready for battle. He says, the defeated warrior goes to battle and then seeks to win, while the successful warrior, or the courageous, the victorious warrior, seeks to win, then goes to battle. My success habit lies in the fact that, as I mentioned, it's the attitude you take into your day. Now, where'd my cell phone go? If you wake up with your cell phone and as your alarm clock, like I do and probably many others do, if you allow salacious headlines to get you from the very beginning, if you start ripping through emails and social media right from the time that you woke up, I mean, you are injecting a certain energy into yourself that kind of controls your narrative for the day. It has the potential to do that. So one of my success habits is to make sure that even when I wake up, I reserve those first moments of the morning to start my hour of power. That's 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of exercise, 15 minutes of reading, and then 15 minutes of exercise and some type of movement. Now, you don't have to do this in 1 hour of the day, but it's those 4 components that help you guard your energy and your mindset as you go into the day. So I don't allow, the news and the radio and things to get into my mind and spirit before I focus on what I need to do, those tasks for the day, positive seeds that I can plant, whether it's scripture, inspirational quotes, something that's positive, in exchange with my wife and my family, get love on them and they love me back, so I get that energy to go tackle anything I have to do in the day. One of the all of the success habits start with how I start my day and getting into the right mindset and having a vision for what I have to do for the day and carry the right energy into the day to conquer and win in battle that day.
Wow, that was really good. You added a lot in there, and some of the questions I always want to ask you. I will ask you this one question, obviously in rapid fire, a minute or less. But the question I want to ask you is, what's a lesson you learned from your mentor, one of your mentors, that you would like to share with the audience that we can take away?
Well, even Robin mentioned this, and this is a big takeaway, especially for entrepreneurs. Done is better than perfect any day of the week. Mm-hmm. You have to start ugly. Allow yourself to get started, because you can always make it greater later. But many times, if you're a perfectionist, like myself, sometimes we don't want to go and put it out on social media. We don't want to launch the website. We don't want to put the product out there because we're not totally in love with it, but that's okay. Get it done, get it out there, allow people to respond to it, because that feedback that you can get back from the market can help you target correct and make a bigger and better product the very next time.
Yeah, Powell. Last question. It's kind of on my mind. I'm wondering. I know you mentioned you have 2 girls, and I know having 2 sons myself, there's always different personalities. But let's just imagine for a moment that you were given a message to your daughters, and they're going to get a hold of this long lost video file. So I don't know if they're still calling it videos if they ever decide they want to look at it, and they're hearing a message from dad to them. In about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. What is your message that you'd want to tell your daughters right now that are listening?
Man, let me tell you something. When I started speaking, my first keynote was claim your star power. You are an everyday superstar. You're not a superstar because of what people know about you, who you know, or what kind of money you got, what you do for a living, all your swag, your accessories and all that stuff. You are a superstar when you're connected to what's inside of you, those gifts, those talents, those ideas, those special gifts that you were endowed with to carry throughout this world to make your imprint on the world. The reason why we have 10 fingerprints that have never existed in the world is because God intended for you to make your mark on this world. When we talk about star power, it's not about being better than anybody else. It's about being the best you. What are those things that are unique about you that makes you stand out just by using more of what you have to create more of what you want? Nobody else can do that but you. You've been endowed with everything you need to create whatever you want and your mind can conceive. Just value yourself, understand how special you are, be tenacious about continuing to learn and grow and to leverage those gifts and skills. Stay ambitious and let people know and build the team around you, and ultimately be responsible for what it is that you put in the universe. And if you can do that, you become an STAR, not a celebrity superstar, not any kind of superfluous type of superstar, but you become an everyday superstar by your gifts and allowing that to shine on the universe.
Thank you for sharing. How can folks connect with you?
First of all, the easiest way to go is to RomeMadison.com. You connect with any of my social media platforms, but I'm most active on Facebook. You can connect with me at Rome Madison Everyday Superstar. My Instagram updates there, and I'm pretty consistent with interacting with folks on Facebook.
Let's see what's going on. So everyone open up a Facebook browser. We'll do this in a minute. Let's go open up a Facebook browser, which I have open now. And now we're at Rome Madison, the Everyday Superstar. Now, I'm curious, why did you pick the Everyday Superstar? You could have picked a lot of stuff, but you picked the Everyday Superstar. Take 30 seconds and tell us what that Everyday Superstar truly represents. He's posting. There you got. Oh, you got pictures. Are those your girls there? I mean, I'm not trying to put them on the spot.
Marlo is the oldest and Zoe is the youngest.
Oh, okay, cool. Got the family going. My man Kobe. All right, just take a minute or less. What is the brand, the Everyday Superstar? Who does it speak to, and what does it represent?
So the Everyday Superstar was a concept that I created and came to the market as a speaker when social media launched about 10 years ago when I started speaking. And it was because so many young people were using social media to be something that they're not. You know, I got money, you know, I'm doing all these things. You don't need to try to be someone you're not. You just need to be the best version of yourself, as we just talked about. And that's what it means to be an everyday superstar, being yourself and connecting yourself with people who appreciate and see your greatness. You don't have to try to emulate someone else's fame or their celebrity. Be the best you and own your gifts, own your talents, own your ideas, and surround yourself with people who celebrate you instead of tolerate you.
I love it. This is so powerful. Look, we're closing out. We come back. They're going to give their final thoughts to close us out. You're here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We're going to go over to Mobile, Alabama, and check in with the one and only Sakoni Prince. Sakoni Prince says, don't forget where you come from. Be happy where you're going. We'll be back in just a moment. Sakoni Prince, take it away, my man.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? This is Sakoni Prince of SakoniPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe giving you my thought of the week, and I'm doing it because you guys rock. And today is my January 1st. And my thought of the week this week is don't forget where you come from, but be excited about where you're going. Don't forget where you come from, but be excited about where you're going. On my hat right here, you can read the word Pritchard. And I was really raised in Pritchard, Alabama, which is on the outskirts of Mobile. And Pritchard wasn't known for being the best part of town, but actually that's my home. It's where I was raised, that's where I come from. But you know what? I didn't forget where I came from, but now I am excited about where I'm going. So I want you to do the same. Don't forget what went into making you who you are, where you came from, your background and your history. But I also want you to be excited about where you're going, because that's really what's going to make the difference in whether or not you keep moving forward. So many people want to remind you where you come from and what you've done in your past. But look, don't worry about your past, focus on your future. And I want to make sure that you get there. Hey, look, this is Saucony Prince of SauconyPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, giving you my thought of the week, and I'm doing it again because you guys rock. Hey, look, back over to you, Shay.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we're on a mission to empower, to inspire, and to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all the resources you need to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. So we want to take a moment to acknowledge both Rome Madison and Robin Devonish for being here, for taking so much time. We're like in triple overtime, by the way. Like, this is triple overtime. They're going to close out, but like triple overtime. It was like, Shay, how long is it going to be? I don't know. But you know, they have such a heart to give. They have such a heart to serve, and they've given the best they have in the time that they have right now. So we want to acknowledge them for what they've done, acknowledge them for taking this time. One thing that we know is that all of you can walk away. You can write your book, work with Robin. You can make your sales, work with Rome. You can make more money. That I'm confident, 100% confident. But this I know that I know that I know, none of us can make more time. So we can always make more money, but we can't make more time. So they've given us the most precious resource they have, which is their time. So I'm going to ask them if they'll take a minute or two and kind of share their closing thoughts, their final thoughts for you. These thoughts might be around business. It might be around life. It might be a story. I don't know. But it's their message to you. That's my favorite part. Of course, they're all my favorite parts. But this is really my favorite segment. So Rome will go to you first, and then Robin will come to you to close us out and bring us down the home stretch. So Rome, what are your closing thoughts, my man?
Well, I want to harken back to the story that we told about Kobe Bryant, right? What he taught us about greatness, that it is a process. And what I mentioned is that, you know, he didn't come into the league with a lot of fanfare. He came in and he worked. Like, he would shoot 1,000 free throws. He would shoot 100 three-pointers in the same workout in an empty gym early in the morning in the off-season when nobody was there. You see, he did that when no one was watching to make it look easy when everybody was watching. So the point I'm trying to drive home to you, if you're still watching this, I know you're a special type of individual because we're over an hour in, but you get it. That success in your business is all about process. Share this quick story for you. It's the law of sowing and reaping from Scripture. Now, I'm not a biblical scholar or anything, but it's certainly a good story for teaching in a very short period of time. So first of all, you have good seed. Your story, your product, your service, whatever it is, you know it's good because it comes from you. The second thing that we know about the story about sowing and reaping is the sower just went out and sowed. The first seed fell on shallow ground and it didn't grow. That's people who your message and your product is not meant for. You can't cry over it. You don't get into how come no one liked my post. You want to turn likes and follows into products and dollars. And it's just not about how many people like it. It's about how many people are taking action. Next, the farmer kept sowing the seed. He sowed the seed on ground and birds came and ate the seeds. You know, there's distraction everywhere. There's people who are selling similar products or solving similar problems to what you do, and there's noise and confusion in the market. But if you stay consistent with your message and planting the seeds of your product or the problem you solve, you're going to grow fruit. The sower keeps sowing the seed. Finally, it falls on good ground and starts to grow, but there's weeds that choke the seed. You know, again, distractions are going to take over. People will be with you for a little while, but fall off. But finally, the sower keeps sowing the seed and it falls on good ground. And he reaps a harvest. Some of the seed grow 100-fold. Some grow 60, some grow 30. The point is some are going to grow and some are not. And instead of questioning the results that we get, we learn from the sower. The secret to success is to keep on sowing the seed. Keep on sharing your message. Keep on putting it out there. Keep on writing every day so you can get that book complete. Just keep on planting the seeds of your dream if you want a harvest eventually in your life to show through and share with the world.
Thank you so much for sharing, man. We appreciate you so much. Robin, your final comments, your final thoughts for those folks that are listening, that are watching right now. Appreciate your time. Appreciate all that you've done. Thanks for being on the show. Both you and Rome will have to have you back. What are your final thoughts? What are your final comments?
Well, before I give final comments, I just want to say thank you so much, Shay and the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, for tuning in and, listening on this evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. But we really appreciate you being here. So thank you so much, Shay, for the opportunity to share with the tribe. And so what can I say? I think the best thing to say is someone is waiting on your genius. Someone is waiting on your genius. And what I mean by that is it's not necessarily a book. It's whatever, right? Whatever that may be. Someone is waiting for your genius. Someone is waiting for you to show up. Someone's waiting for you to complete something. Someone is waiting for you to do the thing that you are kicking and screaming and you don't want to do. Someone is waiting for you to do the thing that you're fearful to do. Someone is waiting on your genius. And so how long are you going to continue to be selfish and keep them waiting? That's the question. So, with that being said, today is January 1st, right? So it's time to show up to your genius. It's time to be great. It's time to do that thing that you don't want to do, that you don't think you can do, but I'm telling you that you can do. Just do it. Show up in your genius, whether it's writing a book, whether, it's speaking in front of people, whether it's writing a play, whether you want to be an actor or an actress, whether you want to complete a marathon, whatever your genius may be, show up in it because people are waiting for you. They're watching you, and stop keeping them waiting. That's it. That's it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You're both amazing. Hey, with that being said, thank all of you for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. As we close out, I want you to look right below the video. Just write those words. Today is my January 1st. You get a new start. Today is my January 1st. You're going to write that book. Today is my January 1st. You're going to separate yourself from the competition. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to go out there because someone has the goal of finding me, and my genius is needed, is necessary, and is sought after. With that being said, I want you to know that you're amazing as you're watching. You've got so much greatness inside you. We appreciate every single one of you because without you, there is no show. Without you participating, no one would know about it. So thanks for hitting the share button. Thanks for hitting the watch party button. Thanks for telling all of your colleagues and friends about you. We appreciate you. So with that being said, for those folks that are just tuning in and wondering who I am, by the way, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we're going to make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and we wish all of you success. See you later. Peace. Thank you, Rome. Thank you, Robin. Robin blowing kisses. The rock star is in the house. It's showtime. And thank you, the viewer. We appreciate all of you. We got to get out of here. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Thank you. God bless.